There are times in deep space exploration when everything behaves exactly the way science predicts. The laws of physics hold steady, calculations match observations, and the universe follows the rules we've come to trust. And then there are the rare moments when something doesn't fit. Moments that don't just challenge what we know, but seem to push back against it. Voyager 1, the most distant object ever created by humans, may have just experienced one of those moments. For decades, it has been drifting farther from Earth, moving beyond the Sun's influence and into a region no spacecraft was ever designed to survive. The environment out there is extreme, intense radiation, near absolute zero temperatures, and vast emptiness. Yet Voyager 1 is still operating. Still sending data. But recently, something unusual appeared in that data. This wasn't simple interference or background noise. It wasn't random. The signal showed structure. It had repetition, timing, and behavior that didn't match any known natural source. It appeared almost responsive, as if something had noticed Voyager's presence. Voyager was launched in 1977 with a limited mission: study Jupiter and Saturn, send back images and data, and then gradually shut down. It was never meant to last this long. But instead of fading away, it kept going. It passed Jupiter and revealed massive storms, intense radiation, and volcanic activity on its moons. At Saturn, it captured details of the rings and helped expand our understanding of planetary systems. After that, it continued outward, leaving the familiar solar system behind. Eventually, it crossed the heliosphere, the boundary where the Sun's influence ends. Beyond that lies interstellar space, a region filled with high-energy particles and unfamiliar conditions. Scientists expected this area to be relatively quiet. It wasn't. Voyager detected plasma waves, magnetic shifts, and patterns that were more complex than predicted. Some of these signals repeated in ways that were difficult to explain. At the time, they were labeled as unusual but natural phenomena. Now, those earlier readings are being reconsidered. In recent observations, a new signal appeared, one that stood out clearly. It aligned with Voyager's communication timing and contained structured intervals, almost like organized data. Engineers checked everything: onboard systems, Earth-based receivers, possible interference sources. Nothing explained it. Even more puzzling, attempts to reproduce the signal failed. It only appeared when Voyager followed its normal communication routine, not when scientists tried to trigger it manually. This suggested that whatever produced the signal wasn't reacting to commands from Earth, but to Voyager itself. Further analysis revealed slight shifts in frequency, indicating motion. Not random drifting, but controlled movement. Something near Voyager appeared to be adjusting its position. At the same time, Voyager recorded unusual magnetic fluctuations, as if influenced by a nearby object. No known natural phenomenon behaves this way. No known spacecraft operates like this either. There was no detectable propulsion, no heat signature, and no conventional emissions, only the signal. This has led some to consider a possibility that was once dismissed outright: that Voyager may have encountered something artificial. Not debris. Not a natural formation. But an object with advanced characteristics. Voyager, a machine built with 1970s technology, carrying limited memory and aging systems, may have become part of something far bigger than its original mission. It continues to send data. And whatever is out there may still be there with it. For now, there are more questions than answers. But one thing is certain: the deeper we explore space, the more we realize how much we don't yet understand. As the data continued to arrive from Voyager 1, the mystery only deepened. The signal didn't repeat in a simple loop. It changed, slightly at first, then in more noticeable ways. The spacing between pulses shifted. The intensity rose and fell. It was subtle, but enough to suggest that whatever was producing it was not static. It was adapting. Scientists began comparing older recordings from Voyager's journey, going back years, even decades. Patterns that once seemed insignificant started to stand out. Small irregularities in plasma waves. Unusual magnetic readings. Tiny fluctuations that had been ignored because they didn't fit any known model. Now, they seemed connected. It was as if Voyager had been passing through a region influenced by something far larger than itself, something that had been there long before it arrived. One of the most unsettling discoveries came from analyzing timing. The signal didn't just exist, it aligned. Voyager sends data in a steady rhythm, like a heartbeat across space. The unknown signal appeared to match that rhythm, not perfectly, but closely enough to raise concern. It didn't interrupt. It didn't overpower. It responded within the gaps, almost like it was observing before acting. That detail changed everything. Because it suggested awareness. Not necessarily intelligence in the way humans define it, but something capable of recognizing patterns and adjusting accordingly. As weeks passed, another anomaly appeared. Voyager's orientation, its ability to keep its antenna pointed toward Earth, remained unusually stable. In deep space, even the smallest forces can slowly shift a spacecraft off course. Over time, corrections are needed to maintain alignment. But Voyager required fewer adjustments than expected. In some cases, it seemed to correct itself. Engineers couldn't fully explain it. Mechanical failure didn't fit. Software errors didn't match the precision being observed. The movements were too consistent, too accurate. It was almost as if an external influence was helping maintain its position. At the same time, the surrounding environment continued to behave unpredictably. Magnetic fields twisted in ways that didn't follow known interstellar patterns. Plasma density changed without clear cause. Background radiation fluctuated beyond expected limits. Individually, each of these could be explained. Together, they formed something harder to dismiss. Then came the most debated piece of data. Within the signal, researchers identified segments that resembled structured packets, clusters of information separated by consistent gaps. Not random bursts, but organized pieces, almost like fragments of a larger message. No one could decode them. Not because they were encrypted, but because they didn't match any known system of communication. There was no recognizable language, no mathematical sequence, no clear reference point. Just structure. That alone was enough to divide opinions. Some argued it was still a natural phenomenon, an unknown type of cosmic interaction producing complex patterns. Others believed the structure was too precise, too deliberate to be accidental. And then there was the question no one could answer: why Voyager? Out of the vast emptiness of interstellar space, why would this interaction occur near a single, aging spacecraft? Voyager is not powerful. It doesn't emit strong signals compared to cosmic sources. It doesn't stand out on a galactic scale. And yet, something appeared to notice it. One theory suggests coincidence, that Voyager simply entered a rare region of space where unusual physics occurs. Another suggests something more unsettling, that Voyager's consistent transmissions made it detectable, like a beacon repeating the same pattern for decades. A signal that something, somewhere, finally recognized. As of now, there is no confirmation of what this object, or phenomenon, actually is. There is no official statement claiming contact.